Hey guys, what is up? Chris here with Cohesive Friendship Unit. Just me today. We are going to be talking about Breath of the Wild 2 and why I think it's going to release in the year 2020, specifically holiday 2020. I have 3 reasons to defend myself, but real quick before we get into it, we are doing a giveaway at 800 subs. We're giving away a Steam code for Conan Exiles, so feel free to subscribe to the channel. That's all you have to do to be entered in the giveaway. More details on our channel homepage. And I'll just say this is obviously not the last Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 video we will be making, so that would be another good reason for you to be subscribed. But without further ado, let's get started. So I have 3 kind of reasons why I think Breath of the Wild 2 is coming out in 2020. We've talked about this in a few other videos, but this is going to be kind of like the succinct version of it. One is the release dates of past Zelda asset flips. 2 is the 2019 holiday game and the Switch Pro theory. And number 3 is the tease to release schedule that Nintendo has been doing specifically with their tentpole holiday games for that year. But let's start at the beginning with release dates. A lot of people kind of think that Zelda, Ocarina of Time, and then Majora's Mask are really the only asset flip that's happened in Zelda, or that's the only one that they can immediately think of. I'm going to go a little bit deeper and actually go through every technical asset flip, even if it wasn't necessarily developed by Nintendo, but it is a Zelda game that is an asset flip. I'm going to be looking at the time between release dates, averaging them out, and then kind of discussing what it might mean. And I am going to take into account that these are not all Nintendo-made games. Well, let's just get into it. So, right off the bat, we do have, these are also initial release dates, by the way, we do have the actual N64 version of Ocarina of Time, followed by Majora's Mask. Ocarina of Time released in November, late November of 1998. Majora's Mask was late April of the year 2000. There was about 17 months between the release of those two games. 17-18 months. Then we have Ocarina of Time 3D, which was released June 16th of 2011, and February 13th, 2015 was the Majora's Mask 3D remake. So that's actually 44 months between release dates. Followed by that, we have the Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks, with Phantom Hourglass releasing June 23rd, 2007, Spirit Tracks December 7th, 2009. This is only 30 months between games. And last we have Legend of Zelda Link Between Worlds with a November 22nd, 2013 release date, followed by Triforce Heroes October 22nd, 2015. And that's a 23-month gap. So if you were to average these asset flips, we have, again, Ocarina of Time to Majora's Mask, Ocarina of Time 3D, Majora's Mask 3D, Phantom Hourglass, Spirit Tracks, Link Between Worlds, Triforce Heroes. If you average all those out, you get an average of 28.5 months between release dates. So a little shy of 2.5 years between release dates of these asset flips. Time since Breath of the Wild is actually currently, as of today that I'm recording, is about 29 months approximately. So that kind of gives you a sense that right off the bat for an asset flip we are a little late, but some things to consider. One, the last of these games, what came out in 2015. Games have gotten more complex and taken longer and are harder to make now. Also, 3 of these remakes are handheld games. Link Between Worlds to Triforce Heroes, Phantom Hourglass to Spirit Tracks, Ocarina of Time 3D to Majora's Mask 3D, all are handheld games. That also not necessarily means that they'll take shorter, but fewer resources are required, at least on paper. And if you look at the only console game, that is 20 years old at this point, so it's kind of hard to use as an example. So yeah, I guess what I'm saying is, even though the average for historical data is 28.5 months, and it's been 29 months, things are going to take a little bit longer, even though it is an asset flip with this game. And we also have to take into account that Breath of the Wild did have DLC, which, even if it was a separate team working on it, I'm sure those were resources that could have been put on the Breath of the Wild 2 team rather than making the DLC. So that's point number one. Point number two is the 2019 holiday game and the Switch Pro theory, kind of bunching them up. So the first part of this is the 2019 holiday game. So every holiday, almost every console maker does this, but Nintendo especially, every holiday usually has a tentpole game that is the holiday game. I'm not saying that there aren't other holiday games that Nintendo releases, but usually the marketing, the coverage, the demos, the hype is around one game, and the production value stands out with this one game. 2017 was Mario Odyssey. 2018 was Smash Bros. Ultimate. 2019 is Pokemon. And 2020, this is where we now have to kind of find a game based on what we know is currently in development. So we know that Metroid Prime 4 is currently in development, and maybe this was originally planned to be the 2020 game, but seeing as it restarted development, highly unlikely this will be the 2020 game. We've heard rumors for half a decade now about Pikmin 4. Again, I'm doubtful that this would be the holiday game. It's never stood as the holiday game, and I don't think it has the sales to back itself as the flagship holiday game from Nintendo for the year. The only other thing I could see happening is a Mario game could basically come out of nowhere, including Odyssey 2, but I kind of think that's also a little unlikely. We just got Mario Maker. We just got another 2D Mario. I could see a 2D Mario coming out, but I do not think Odyssey 2 is around the pipeline with Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 currently in development. I think 2017 was an exception. Now they're going to kind of try to keep those two separated because they're just both such monster sellers. They don't need to be in the same year. It seems like we could easily see Breath of the Wild 2 in 2020. And the one thing that I'll say concerning this that could maybe not shake out for Zelda is historically we have seen the big holiday game be revealed that same year. For example, Mario Odyssey was revealed in January at the Nintendo Switch reveal event, and that came out later that year. Smash Ultimate was revealed in the March Direct, which came out later that year. And 2019 Pokemon was revealed earlier this year, coming out in November of 2019. So it is very possible. We haven't seen the 2020 holiday tentpole game yet, but the last thing I want to talk about on this topic is the Switch Pro theory. So it's no secret that people seem to think a Switch Pro is in development. There's been numerous outlets, Wall Street Journal, there's been other gaming publications. It's one of those things where there's smoke, there's fire. Kind of like the Switch Mini, where everyone was saying one existed, and now we have one coming out. So if a Switch Pro is coming out, it would make sense. Nintendo does, once these hardware revisions start happening, they tend to start happening relatively quickly. It would make sense for there to be a 2020 holiday revision, like how there was a 2019 holiday revision. If that 2020 revision is the Pro, here's what I'll say about this. Breath of the Wild launched with the Nintendo Switch. Link's Awakening is going to be launching with the Mini. We're talking day and date here. Like Breath of the Wild launches March 3rd. Link's Awakening launches September with the Mini. Could this be the same thing with the Nintendo Switch Pro? Could we have a Nintendo Switch Pro launching holiday 2020 on the exact same day as Breath of the Wild 2? Definitely a possibility. But let's move on to the third kind of topic, and this is the teases to release cadence that Nintendo has been doing specifically for their flagship games of the year, but I'm also going to kind of divert and just give a few other examples. So let's start with Mario Odyssey. Again, Mario Odyssey being the 2017 game, Smash the 2018 game, Pokemon being the 2019 game. Mario Odyssey was teased during the Nintendo Switch 2017 presentation, and we didn't get a release date. The next time we saw it, we got a release date trailer, and that was at E3. Smash Ultimate was teased again in March without a concrete release date. The next time we saw it, we had a huge blowout followed by a release date. Pokemon, again, teased with a trailer. The next time we saw it, we had a release date. And again, those are for the big three games. I'm just going to name a few others. Animal Crossing, again, it was teased with the 2019. The next time we saw it, we get a release date. Luigi's Mansion, very similar. We get a tease. The next time we see it, we get a release date. So when could we be seeing... So based on this pattern, the next time we see Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, we'll get a release date for it. Just based solely on that pattern. I know Zelda games aren't the best at keeping their dates and they get delayed and all this. But all that being said, those three tentpole games, Mario, Smash, and Pokemon, were all given a release date at E3. That was when the hype really started to get pushed. So it would make sense for Zelda to be shown at E3 2020, and that's when we get a release. The only other time I would see it would be maybe at the Game Awards. Personally, I think that the Game Awards is going to be for showing the final Smash DLC. But Nintendo has actually had a very big presence with the original Breath of the Wild at the Game Awards. They've shown gameplay in like 2015. They've shown teases, and they've shown the DLC trailer for the second DLC. And they've actually dropped the DLC that night. So it's entirely possible that we see it at the Game Awards with a 2020 release date. Either way, I think we're either going to see it at the Game Awards or E3 with a 2020 release date. And those are my three reasons why I think we could easily see Breath of the Wild for 2020. Let me know what you guys think down below. That's all for me. I will catch you guys next time.